Okay, so I'm not doing ASMR this time because I really don't feel like it. So, uh, this is going to be a video where I just kind of rank like the items and sort of talk about my opinions on the balancing of the game, I guess. So, with number 18, I'm gonna say D6 because now the D6, like if you look at it in Isaac, what makes it so great is the fact that you can get like so many stats up and like stat ups and like permanent items that will just stay with you for the rest of the game. But basically, most items that you can pick up do about the same thing, and they're only like temporary buffs, like 10 seconds. So that's, and the fact that you have to pair it with a luck item for it to be any good is just not worth it, I think. So that's probably why. And I think the rolling is just bad. Like the rolls are bad, but that's all. So now, regular deal makers, which, I'll just pull it up on screen right now. The regular deal makers are like they're terrible. Like if you just compare them to the Neo deal makers, like it's so much better. It's not even comparable. Like the regular deal makers are just not worth it. Not even a little bit. Anyway, Rose of Envy. It's bad just because like it you have to like lose your item slots to get like a very minor stat up, and it's just not good. Then we've got beginner's luck, which beginner's luck it's fine. Beginner's luck, it goes away after like what, 10 floors or 20? Wait, yeah, I don't know. But it's just like you want stuff to be good late game, so what's the point of having an early game item? Now we got shock absorber, which shock absorber, it's not horrible, but I just think that an item like that is kind of obsolete with the way the game functions, the task siphon and like the upgrades and stuff you can get. I just feel like there's no point in getting it. Next up, Neo Dealmakers, which are great if you're, you just want to blow Robux on the game, and you just, it'll make you more money so you can get the other items. The luck's fine. That's fine. The pickups, the pickup duping is like really good, but I'd say it's just a better D6, so that's why it's not higher. Now for number 12, just all the stamina items: hiker's backpack, parasitic mushroom, stained apron, and crown flower. Every item you pick up is always going to be speed or stamina, so you're going to have so many stamina items that it's not useful. Just use items like the food items in game. Next up, we've got tracker, which it's like you can use it for monsters or you can just listen for them, which, and then if you're going to use it for tasks, why not just use a radio pack? You can just walk around and you'll see it a lot easier. That's what I think. Notebook, I think notebook is a good item. I think it's very decent. Before the buff, it was horrible, but now it's actually good. Because, you can use it for bosses or for farming rare floors or whatever. And it gives you a nice little buff. I'd say it's worth the slot if that's what you're going for. Definitely. Echolocator. Okay. So, it's very much like, it has a decent bit of range, but it's very, it is very limited at the same time. Especially on huge maps later game, because later game, of course, that's where the big maps are most of the time, but it's still good on like 2-story buildings and stuff. But for the most part, it's not useful unless you're doing Sloth, which is probably where it really shines. Just because it's so dark and there's all those walls and stuff. And sometimes it can be hard to tell where the footsteps are. So I'd say that's the only way it's viable, which is why it would be at number 9. Number 8 is running shoes, which I would put them higher because they are really good if you don't have Sloth Horns. But they are just so outclassed by Sloth Horns that it doesn't feel like they need to be any higher than that. Number 7, broken wings, because it's like Phantom Cloak, but you can't rely on it to actually do its job all the time. Because in some situations you're gonna want speed, in some situations you're gonna want Phantom Cloak or invisibility, which, like, the inconsistency, I guess, is what makes it kind of rough, because you know you're cornered and there's like you can't go anywhere. There's entities all around you. They're circling, whatever. You pop it, you get a nothing roll, and you die. That's just I've seen it happen. I just don't think it's I forgot to click on it. I don't think it's like it's not too crazy, but it's at least it's interesting. So for Heart Locket is really good because you like get to spam a speed up, which you know, that's great, and you get the -10 priority, which awesome. Priority is nice to have lowered. Not much to say about it. It's just a nice little item. Okay, I just looked back at my recording and I realized I forgot about Depth Gauge. Depth Gauge is so good. It's like I'd rank it like number 5, maybe, probably number 5. Like before the nerf, it was probably better, but now it's like it's still really good. It's just like the full effect doesn't happen until you get to floor 50, and they nerf the priority, which kind of sucks, but that's whatever. But yeah, really good item. Radio Pack, probably my favorite item. It's very useful for doing floors like quickly and effectively, I guess, because a lot of times you have to waste time to like check around corners and stuff, but this gives you a lot more of that, like a third eye, or like you can just, I don't know, you can just know where it's all at. So yeah, that's at number 4. For Sloth Horns, I'm putting them at number 3, and the reason is they're Sloth Horns. Difficult to get and very useful. Very makes you pretty fast. So, you know, that's the meta right now. Sloth Horns, really good. So number 2 is Crown of Thorns, and that's because it's a revive and a stats up. Like, who wouldn't want that? That is like that's really good. So at number 1 we have Phantom Cloak, if you could have guessed that one. And this is where I sort of want to talk about the balancing, because like there's such a high incentive to use this. Like, you very much have to rely on just like getting lucky with the entities and stuff, because like of course there's gonna be a lot of luck involved, but it's just like this gives you a solid like counter to stuff that wouldn't usually be able to be countered. It gives you a solid counter to stuff that like usually you couldn't counter. So that's why it's so good, and I'm really hoping they add more like items like this, like powerful items that can, you know, change up the strategy of the game and how it's played, because it just doesn't feel right. Like, I'm kind of like burned out of the game. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna keep making videos until there's like a, you know, pretty decent sized update. But I just it's so OP. So yeah, that's all the items ranked. So I don't know. Hopefully they I mean, of course they're gonna rework some items. I know that already, but yeah. That's just my opinion on the current state of the items. So bye.